Hello, beautiful people. I have a small request. I want you to please spend a couple of minutes with me to go over this course syllabus. And then I want you to decide whether this is the right course for you or not. This course I have divided into 10 different sections. Section 1, I wanted to cover like an introduction, sell your skills, how you could support your resume, interview format, what you should bring to your interview, and the importance of practicing. Section 2 will cover the basic and common interview questions, such as tell me about yourself, why do you want this job, why are you leaving your job, why should I hire you, or where do you see yourself in 5 years, your weaknesses, your strengths, and your greatest accomplishment. Moving on to section 3, we'll cover most important interview tips such as score success in the first 5 minutes, talk about numbers, telling the story, and keeping that beautiful smile of yours. Be precise, don't derail yourself into a different topic. Understand the job requirement. Know the name of the people that you're going to be meeting with. Do not make an answer if you don't know. Understand the question and assess yourself throughout the interview so you know you stay on track and you're keeping the attention of your hiring manager or the hiring panel. Moving on to section 4, behavioral question like what is your greatest failure and what did you learn from it? Describe a time when you were unable to complete your work. Tell me about a successful presentation you gave, or tell me about the toughest decision you have had to make. I skipped through a couple of questions, but I trying to make you understand the type of question that we're going to cover. And in behavioral question, we're going to learn a method of STAR, which stands for situation, task, action, and result. Moving on to section 5, which are situational questions. Situational questions are like, what would you do if your work is criticized? How would you handle a dissatisfied customer? Your manager assigned you a project with tight deadline. How would you handle it? What would you do in the first 90 days if you were hired? How would you respond to a stressful situation? So these are the type of questions are the situational questions. So I am covering every one of them and giving you techniques how you should answer these questions. Moving on to some of the technical questions, such as what was the last project you led? How do you keep up with the innovation? How would you market our product? What version of whatever the application that you're running? Now coming down to section 7, like compensation related question. And a couple of them are what are your salary expectation and bonus related questions. Moving on to section 8, which is your turn to get into the interview question, and that is you need to ask question. You have to leave on a high note. High note is very, very important. And you will learn about the high note once we get to section 8. And I tell you, 80% of the time it works and people will remember you if you leave on a high note. Then saying goodbye. What are the things that you have to leave with them? The goodbye, how good it has to be. Then moving on to section 9 after the interview. Follow up after the interview, update your skills and your resume and learn from your mistake. Moving on to the last section, and that is about do's and don'ts. I want you to remember some of the things you should do, you should avoid, and to never give up. So that's what my syllabus is about, and now you decide whether this course will work perfectly for you or not. And I'll tell you one thing, you will definitely be able to ace your interview once you go through this course. So go ahead and enroll.